Hello and welcome back to Le Tome. Le Tome. You know what I mean. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Corey, trying to remember his name, went on a date with the Wolverine, whose name is escaping me right now. And despite meeting on an app, it turned out, pretty well. They both get along really well. It looks like they like each other, and the people at the coffee shop seem to approve of it. And I say that because apparently the people know the gulo, the Wolverine. So yeah, seems to be, I hesitate to say it, a match made in heaven, but they clicked. Despite the fact that they look like the same height right here, I think that the gulo is like way taller than the squirrel. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so what else? I don't know if anything significant happened. I mean, they met. Did they have a kiss? I forget. It's been a while, I'm sorry. I don't remember if they actually kissed. I think they might have. I don't remember. But yeah, so they will be going on another date, I believe. But yeah. You can tell that I definitely don't remember what happened in the previous update. Also, well, first, thank you to the developer for letting me record this a little bit earlier than normal. Yeah, so thank you. What else? Actually, I don't believe there's much else to say. Because I don't remember. This is what happens when you end up reading a lot, and then sometimes when the stories take a little while to update. So it's more on me. I should have read up on what happened, but that's the gist of what happened. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so yeah, without further ado, let us continue Le Tome. I believe this would be chapter 3, right? The kiss keeps playing over and over in my head as I walk home. I can't stop touching my lips. I'm not sure if the mocha aftertaste is from the kiss or... No, I had coffee and chocolate. That's all me. Wait, why isn't my key working? I'm absolutely baffled as I attempt to slide the key into the lock again. Oh, that's the key from the apartment back in San Francisco. The door opens a crack, a single eye peering out at me from the slit. As I give a bashful grin, the door swings wide. Did the key not work? Well, the key to my place back in San Francisco certainly didn't. We both laugh and I step into the house, giving her a hug as I nudge the door shut with my heel. Her nose gives a wiggle. Downtown at the coffee shop? She turns and saunters on back towards the kitchen. Yeah. Drip is good, but I wanted to just get out. I swear the place hasn't changed since I'd opened. I hang my jacket on the coat rack, making sure to retrieve my phone from the pocket and follow after her into the kitchen. She's got the local paper spread across the counter. I think the prices have gone up a little. But that's about it. Noticing the cup of coffee next to the paper, I look over at the pot. There is still about a cup's worth of it left. I hitch my tail behind my back and grab another mug from the cabinet. Ma, how long do you think somebody has to wait before moving on to a new relationship? She rustles the paper. Oh, I don't know that there's any fixed amount of time. It's whatever feels right for you. I slowly turn, expecting to find her looking at me. To my surprise, she's still leaning over the counter reading the paper. I pout a bit, having wanted attention, and huff, then take a sip of coffee. That mom sense must have kicked in because without even looking at me, she says, "Don't sulk. You're 32. Use your words." Her tail gives a few agitated shakes as I sigh. Sorry. I met someone down in a cup of joe. He seems like a nice person. I mean, I told you a bit about what happened with Jason, but talking with him made me realize my relationship with Jason really ended more than a month ago. It was more akin to going through the motions. Her nails click against the tabletop as she straightens up and turns to face me. I'm sorry, honey. This is definitely out of my realm of experience. That said, once you're comfortable enough with someone that you can, well, it becomes easier to take for granted the excitement that you had when you first met. Mm, I don't know that's where we ended up, but I pause, taking a quick sip of my coffee and wondering just how much I should divulge to my mother. When he dumped me, he made it fairly clear that if I wasn't making any money, then I wasn't worth his while. The way her tail starts to shake reassures me that I'm not alone, and should really be angry. She folds her arms across her chest. Diddy, if I... if I had to say, I'm glad that I never met this boy. I set my coffee mug on the counter, then step over and gave her a warm hug. I'm sorry that you never got a chance. You might have talked some sense into me. When I dip back from the hug, she's just looking at the floor. I hope that you didn't feel like you weren't welcome. I know that things were... She seems flustered, so I offer her own advice with a little grin. Use your words. Unfortunately, this was not the appropriate time for our family's usual snark. Her tail gives a few warning flicks. When your father died, I didn't take it well. There was no blame to push anywhere, but I know that I put the brunt on you. I collect my coffee cup again, cradling it with both hands, nursing the bitter drink along with my response. I'm sorry, Ma. Losing a loved one is hard. There was a long silence. It's nice to have you home. Just as quietly I respond. It's nice to be here. We make excuses as to things that we need to do. I retreat upstairs to my room. Once there, I crawl into bed, burrow under the covers, and then roll onto my side before bringing my phone to life. There is a string of messages from Stefan. Do you mind getting dirty? Well, that came out completely wrong. Does dust or dirt or the like bother you? I have an idea for tomorrow. I unlock my phone and head into the messages, quickly typing out a response. That would have been too easy, but no, not really. If it's dirty and cold, then I'm a little less inclined. There were a few unread emails in my inbox, mostly ads. And one from the ex. I click into it and it's a single line. I like how you ran away. Mail back the apartment keys. I click on reply and start typing out some choice words when the phone vibrates and Stefan's text slides down from the top of the screen. Shouldn't be cold. Well, most likely not. I hope not. This draws a smile out of me, so I erase the string of profanities and simply reply, "You got it, boss," to Jason before heading back to text with Stefan. My thumbs are flurry. I'll make sure to dress appropriately then. Where should I pick you up? Comes his response. Coffee shop? A moment later. I laugh to myself. I don't know if the baristas would be able to contain themselves. Did you see them cheering? I hitched the blankets a little higher, waiting for the phone to buzz. I was a little preoccupied. I start typing. How about you just pick me up from home? I tack on the address and send it his way. After a few seconds, he responds, I'll see you at 1 tomorrow. An idea strikes. I sit up and peel off the tee that I'm wearing before flopping back on the bed. My thumb navigates to the camera and I strike a coquettish pose. With my face half hidden in the overstuffed pillow and my free arm draped over my chest, I snap a pic that's equal parts cute and sultry. I send it to him, then draw the phone closer, really looking at it. Yeah, that's a good photo. I'd fuck me. As I wait for his response, I crest over my caffeine high and become extremely drowsy. I thumb the power button on my phone, checking for messages, but the warmth envelops me and I drift off to sleep. A shout wakes me up. I can't make out any of it until my mother's distinct voice bellows, "Inside voices!" That keeps the twins down for all of 15 seconds before laughter rings through the house. I grin, checking my phone and find a one-word response to the photo. Woof. Rolling over, I sling my legs to the side of the bed and sit up. My phone is abandoned for the shirt that I'd removed and quickly slip it on once again before sending a response. Sorry, had fallen asleep. We'll see you tomorrow. A yawn racks my body, and my arms jerkily stretch above my head as I make a few extremely strange noises. Fully dressed, I join the rest of my family downstairs. Caleb and Evan are holed up in the TV room, playing some sort of video game, so I pop my head in and say hello. Corey's in the house! Oh my god, shut up, Caleb. The game is paused for toothy grins, happy tales, and a bunch of hugs. They've grown up so much since I was last home. So dude, it's nice to finally see you. Caleb? What, man? He's been home almost an entire day. Sorry, Corey. I think what Caleb's trying to say is that we're both excited to have you home. Caleb flips off Evan before giving me another hug. Guilty as charged, I guess. But yeah, you should have said hi this morning. A pillow is hurled across towards Caleb's face, but he catches it, spikes it, and hollers. Touchdown! God, you're an idiot. But I'm your idiot, Evan. I'm sorry, Caleb. You're right. I should have checked to see if you guys were awake last night, or at least popped out to say hello this morning. Regardless, it really is nice to see you again, Corey. You too, Evan. There are a couple more hugs, and when they finally get back to their game, I ask what kind of pizza they want. Pepperoni thin crust. It's always strange when they pull that kind of linked twin stereo talk. Ma has finished laundry and is in the dining room folding clothes. Have a good nap? Yeah. Guess I just needed to sleep. Can you help me fold these? She grabs a fitted sheet from the pile. I help her through the large pieces, 4 hands making the linens, and a couple of tablecloths a much more easy affair. I move on to the basket of towels. Where did you want to order from? There is a new place down on Main that has a pretty great thin crust. It's called Tony's. The boys really liked it. She's matching socks, then turning them in on themselves to form little sock bombs. Cool. You want any specific toppings? C and E are after pepperoni. Kids and grease. They have a very nice prosciutto and arugula if you want to split that. That sounds good. Give me a second, I can get dinner handled. I slip my phone from my pocket, Google the restaurant, and then tap their phone number to place the order. Should be here in a little over half an hour. We make quick work of the rest of the laundry, then split up to return it to its respective spots throughout the house. With chores out of the way, I head back to the TV room to hang out with my brothers as we wait for dinner. This somehow gets me roped into playing, and as the controllers are handed around, I get schooled several times in what turns out to be the newest Street Fighter game. It's hilarious how bad I am at it. Both Caleb and Evan are in fits of laughter by the time that the pizza shows up. Dinner is a lot of catching up. Caleb, while getting decent grades, is apparently the epitome of the small-town jock. He started varsity for football and has plans to play basketball as well as wrestle. Evan is a little harder to get talking now that we're away from the game. He's maintained a 4.0 grade average and has been taking part in the Future Problem Solvers of America. Along with this, he's been volunteering at a local food bank. Ma, it turns out, has been able to take care of the house because one of her friends helped her come up with a diversified portfolio that's had nice returns. After dinner, I retreat to my room, snagging the novel that I am currently working on and curling up in bed to read before I finally pass out. As giddy as I am, it takes me a while to fall asleep. The clock on my nightstand reads 1:11 as I finally nod off. This affords me the luxury of a late start the next morning, which is nice. I'm sure that I would have put too much effort in trying to prepare for this afternoon. Donning some gray yoga pants, I wandered to get a cup of coffee. There was another note from my mother. She's off to meet with her financial advisor over a long lunch, so I have the next few hours alone. After pouring a cup of coffee, I decide that unpacking what little I brought with me is my best option. My clothing is sorted and separated, deposited into the dresser that I grew up with. I set aside a pretty slim gray t-shirt along with a pair of faded jeans for the afternoon. There is a brief shower along with that ritual of getting presentable for a date. The difference today is that I do take the time necessary to fully blow dry my fur. It takes ages. A little less than half an hour till he arrives, I decide that I should have something to eat. So I grab my phone from the charging station, then head on down to make some toast. As I'm applying a liberal amount of butter, I get a text. Heading your way. Be there in 15. It looks like overnight there have been a few additional texts from Ruffer, along with a couple of texts from friends back in the Bay. I ignore them, smear some jam on the toast, then quickly eat. With moments to spare, I pull on my shoes, don my jacket, and step out to wait on the porch. I plop down on the railing, leaning back against the post, and let my eyes wander up the street. A car turns the corner, a block up, and I know it's him. My tail hitches behind me as I stand, and I saunter on down the street. As he pulls up, it's a swift-looking little red convertible. He reaches across, unlocking the passenger side door, which allows me to swing it open and settle in next to him. Before buckling my belt, I lean his way, reaching myself to tug my tail to the side. There is a hand on my shoulder, giving a fond squeeze, which prompts me to look his way. It's my turn to be surprised as his muzzle meets mine for a brief, friendly kiss. Stefan gives a deep rumble before settling both hands on the steering wheel and pulling back into the street. My ears are surely red and my tail is doing its best to block his access to the passenger side mirror, so I wrangle it into my lap and grin. Afternoon? Hey. What kind of car is this? I take a look around, admiring the black leather interior along with the paneling system in the center console. The cassette player definitely dates it. I look back, amused by how he consumes the entirety of the driver's side seat. She's my baby. He signals for a left turn, pausing to look both ways before he takes it, and continues. A 75 Alfa Romeo Spider, had her imported from a collector in Pisa. He runs a gloved hand gently along the steering wheel. Not really suitable for Midwest driving, but I love her. It definitely feels like you. I mean, when you turned the corner, I knew that it had to be you. Well, thanks. He takes a stop at a traffic light on Main, then turns back to look at me again, eyes rolling over my body. Boss, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that I'd wore that yesterday. I hook a finger at my collar, pulling it to a point mid-chest. This would probably be a bit more accurate. This draws a laugh from him. I let loose, then heft my shoulders in a coy shrug. Must be a coincidence. I just snagged something out of my bag. He's shaking his head, still chuckling. I absolutely believe you. Good. And then it's my turn to admire. At this point, I'm convinced that the only type of shirt that he owns are V-necks. That thatch of honey-colored chest hair peeking free in fabric bunched under his chest. He's perfect. The black leather driving gloves are like a second skin, and I watch as his fingers caress the steering wheel, almost whimpering. Maybe it's the gloves. More likely it's the interior of the car, but his scent carries with it the very specific aroma of well-cared-for leather. My nose must be wiggling because after a moment he asks, "What are you sniffing at?" "Oh, well, you." It just seems... I look over at him, seeing as I'm having such trouble trying to say what I want without sounding stupid. Stefan, you're so hot. And you smell really good. I'm glad that we've pulled up to another red light because the way that he laughs, we probably would have driven off the road. As we're waiting for the light to change, he looks over at me. Corey, I could have said the same of you. Seems like you need to relax a little. He sets his right hand on top of my head, mussing the hair a bit before letting his thumb drift down to smooth out the worry lines creasing my brow. My eyes close as I nose at his forearm fondly, and then we're driving again. When I do open them again, I turn to watch the scenery. I've been casually paying attention during the trip, so I know that we're in a neighborhood towards the east side of town. During elementary school, we came to a state park here and learned about the production of maple syrup. If we're heading to the reserve, I already know about maple syrup. Actually, where are we going? We're almost there. You'll see in a moment. He turns the convertible down a private drive, hidden in the break of the thick, unkept hedges which line the property. The drive is gravel, and would be overgrown if not for the fact that, as we approach the house, there is a for sale sign which means that some semblance of care is being maintained, at least for potential buyers to reach the place. I gasp as I take in the size of the house. It's sprawling and awe-inspiring, even if its current state of disarray. As the car comes to a stop, I pop the door and jump out, wandering up the rickety front stairs before turning back. What is this place? Stefan joins me at the front porch of the estate. The Carney Mansion. It's not much to look at from the outside, but I thought that maybe a bit of urban exploration could be fun. I'm acquainted with the person representing the property, asked if I could have a look around the place today, and snag the keys on my way out. He steps over to the giant double door, fitting a key to the lock before throwing both wide. After you? I step inside, muttering, wow, as my eyes adjust to the dimmer light, my tail flicking excitedly behind me. How much is it listed at? It's valued at just over $230,000. However, the current owner is asking for a little over $1 million. He closes the door behind us, leaving us in the dim light streaming through the glass dome in the ceiling. I look up at it, trying to make out its features, then become aware of the Wolverine's presence as he slides up beside me. That's a pretty big markup. It certainly is. His arms find its way around my shoulders. The touch is gentle, but it's electric to me, and I find myself flush against him. My arms slip around his waist and I press my face to his chest, inhaling deeply and enjoying the purely male scent he has. He mouths at my ear before rubbing his muzzle over the top of my head and planting a kiss there. I shift as my jeans tighten. My hands slide under his leather jacket, fingers finding their way past the hem of his shirt and nails trailing over the small of his back. His tail gives a few quick thumps against his rear, and I can feel the lurch in his pants with our bodies this close. Not wanting to push things, I peel back, taking in the rest of the room while I quite unsettlingly adjust my groin. There are pocket doors leading off each side of the room, along with a central staircase ascending to a second floor. I squeeze his hip and wander over to one of the set of doors. It opens on what I can only imagine was a pretty magnificent sitting room at one point in time. He eases up behind me, obviously wanting to keep the closeness that I just separated. Huge hands settle on my waist as he nudges up my back. The outline of his is apparent, and I can feel warmth at my back as he leans down and rumbles in my ear. The mansion was originally built in 1920. It was a token of love, the manifestation of how much Edward Carney cared for his wife. Supposedly she knew about it and had a fair amount of involvement in the planning for construction. His right hand has strayed from my hip, fingers curling around the bottom of my shirt and peeling it up to expose the base of my stomach. He's nosing at my ear again, breath heavy along my neck. Fingers release my shirt, and he presses his palm flat to my stomach. I glance down, watching as his pinky and ring finger dip beneath the waist of my jeans. They discover the waist of my briefs, then pause. I haven't realized it till now, but I'm shaking. My breath catches in my throat as I wriggle out of his grasp. Sorry. Tail thrashing behind me, I wander into the sitting room, trying to get my wits back, then spin back to find him still lingering in the doors. He's wearing a quirked brow, and his body language is inquiring as to if he's gone too far. My shoulders quake a bit, and through chattering teeth I explain. This is actually a good thing. When I get really excited, it just kind of happens. Okay, so the following is the NSFW scene. Um, it is technically already censored, so depending on how I feel about the censor and how I'm going to censor the words myself, you will either see it or you won't. If you don't, then you could just read the visual novel yourself. If you do end up seeing it, again, you're going to see the censored version, which is actually kind of silly in how it's censored. And I might actually just roll with that censor. And by roll, I mean go by how they're censoring it. Anyway, so will you see it? Will you not? Depends. Without speaking, we shift to sitting. He reaches over, hand curling around the back of my neck, then gives me another deep kiss. It's filled with hundreds of unspoken words and carries with it the flavors of each of our bodies. His forehead meets mine, and we grin at each other like a couple of boys who've just experienced what being an adult is really like. Urban exploration? He laughs, offering up that toothy grin which I'm finding more and more handsome each time that I see it. Well, I'll be honest. This isn't quite what I had in mind. But I'm not disappointed. He drops his hands from my neck, then sits back, pulling his shirt back down his torso. I follow suit, smoothing down my shirt before slowly standing. My tail's lost its mind and is dancing around behind me. Definitely a memorable date. I grin at him as I hitch my briefs, covering my sticky banana, then pull up my jeans and make quick work of the button fly. He reaches my way, so I take his hand in mine, helping him to his feet. Do you, always go commando? He gives a little shimmy, drawing the tight denim back on his thick thighs. Not always. Depends on the mood, really. And how tight the pants are. He gives a few quick tugs to his chocolate-covered banana, then brings his fingers up to the tip, collecting the last bit of chocolate syrup. He laps it up, then reaches down to handle his own fly and belt. The jackets are collected, put back on, and we stand there. Do you want to look around more? I look at myself. The knees of my pants are filthy, as is the side of my body that I was laying on. I smell like sex, and my throat stings from having just swallowed God knows how much chocolate syrup, so I just grin at him. How about day 3 we actually explore? He gives a hearty laugh, then slings his arms around me, hugging tight. I melt into the embrace, hands wandering up and down his broad back. I was a little worried that there wouldn't be a date 3. Of course there will be. When we finally leave, the light outside the house is blinding. I raise a hand, shielding my eyes as they adjust. He locks up quickly, and we're soon driving back to my house. Except during this ride, we're holding hands. Fingers twined. I feel bad for anybody that missed that because it was honestly kind of silly. I promise that if I can get away with it, at the very least, the channel members might get to experience what happened, but we'll have to see. Because usually YouTube gets the last word, and if they say then too bad. Anywho, but I kind of feel like they're going a little fast because I mean, obviously you you can just, go and go for it. Like go for it. Like if you like the guy and you're not really worried that doing what you just did is going to potentially influence the future of the relationship, then, by all means. And at least for me being Demi, unfortunately, that would mean like, yeah, we ain't doing that on the first date, second date, third date, fourth date. I gotta know you a little bit more than, a few days and a few texts. Anywho, but yeah, so, if nothing else, it seems like things have not really changed yet. Will they change later? Who knows? But yeah. What else? To be continued. Oh, hey there. First, a sincere and huge thank you to everyone who has helped support Le Tome through Patreon and Ko-fi. The contributions went fully into the assets used for Chapter 3 and have helped pay for Dropbox Professional. Second, thank all of you for being patient as Chapter 3 was getting all of the prep and love before being dished out. The VN just hit 10,000 downloads. I'm flattered and humbled at how many folks have decided to read this story. I wish you all the best, truly. Third, to our new patrons. I'll get you up into the credits for Chapter 4, but thank you to our new apprentice baker and other people. Hey, wait a minute, one of those names looks familiar. And thank you to our new assistant bakers. Now, go out there and create. Share your own stories, art, and music. Make it gay and weird and scary or sad. Know that you're seen and appreciated. We'll see you again in Chapter 4. Passage de Aluns. As you know, not French, don't know French. So if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. If I recall correctly, they had said that the titles of the chapters will more or less tell you how the story is going to progress. Passage des Aluns. I'm assuming that means goodbye. Anyways, but yeah, so like if you look at the chapters, then you'll be able to see, or you'll have like at least a hint at how the story is going to progress. And I'm assuming that it's going to revolve around the mansion and these two, whether or not their relationship progresses as it's progressing, or if something happens. Because part of what like you see right now in the menu is that it kind of goes through like the seasons or like stages, and whether that's just purely to show whatever it is that's going on, or like, hey, look, we can do this, or we can do this too, or to sort of show that perhaps their relationship is going to go through some ups and downs. I don't know. But we'll see. If it is symbolic, then nice. If not, then I guess nice still. But yeah. So what are your thoughts? And for those people that decided like, oh, why didn't you just leave the scenes that were censored and whatnot? If I am not able to leave the scenes, because if you're in the US, as I am, you might be aware of how certain things are turning out, and certain political parties want to sort of get rid of things like this, and there is laws in certain states that want to be passed where even if you just sort of read the part without showing anything, but read that they are doing something, even if they're consenting adults and whatnot, then it will be illegal and you can be prosecuted. So, well, this is not me making an excuse, it is me being concerned. Okay? Plus, YouTube policy. But yeah. Anyways, so what are your thoughts? Comment down in the comment section, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you'd like to play Le Tome yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download the game and play it yourself. At the moment though, this build does not exist yet. Because again, I got it a little early. But by the time that you guys actually, are seeing this, it'll probably be, up on itch.io, I guess. I will also be posting down a link for their Patreon and their Ko-fi in case you want to support the project and, help them. But yeah. I will also be posting down links in case you want to become a channel member. And yes, I know that it is not available in every country, and I'm sorry, but that's a YouTube thing and your country thing. That's not a me thing. But if you do help support the channel through becoming a channel member, you do get early access to the videos as they're being scheduled. But you usually don't have to wait that long, so you're not missing out on anything at the moment. No, wait, no. You usually have to wait like a week or two at most, to see the videos, okay? But yeah, anyway, so... Oh, also, I have a Ko-fi in case you want to support me through there. And I have a Throne in case you want to buy me stuff. Buy me books. I have books on there. I like books. I like reading, obviously. If that wasn't obvious. I have so many books that some of them are on the floor and I have to buy a bookshelf now. But you can also buy me some random stuff. If you're like... If you see something random on Amazon, it's like, hey, I'm gonna buy him this. You could do that. Anyways, but yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Chocolate-covered banana.